Hey all, for today's video I thought it might be fun to share with you a recent little weekend getaway my family and I took to Orcas Island in Washington State. Orcas makes for a great couple-day trip as it's only a few hours away from Portland. We left after our respective workdays on a Wednesday, stayed in a little Airbnb not far from the ferry in Anacortes so that we could easily take the first one in the morning to get over to Orcas Island.
Hi puppies! Good girl.
To be honest though, it did start out a little bumpy, and sadly I lost my road bike to the highway and a mismatch on our roof rack. Double, or rather triple check those locks, my friends. Luckily no one was hurt, and that is and was the most important thing, and we were easily able to rent a bike from a local shop called Wildlife Cycles in Eastsound area of Orcas, which was crucial because our goals for the trip were to relax, eat, and ride some bikes, all of which you will see for the rest of this video. We loved how relatively simple it was to get on and off this ferry, see some beautiful sights, all while having some food options as well as even some beer if you're into that. Orcas Island is part of the San Juan Islands, less frequented than the neighboring Friday Harbor, but that is exactly what we were hoping for. If we had wanted to visit that bustling nearby island, that would have been pretty simple to do, as these ferries do run multiple times a day between the different islands. Instead though, on this trip, we thought we would keep it simple and explore every corner of Orcas and just leave it at that. We ended up renting this cute little cabin in Deer Harbor, which is definitely a quieter area of Orcas Island rather than Eastsound, which is the most populated area, but that ended up, again, being perfect for us. Having a little quiet getaway, but easily still being able to get into town, and having a few nearby options like island pie that you see here, which was so amazing. Blew my socks off. That vegan pizza that you'll see in a second, ooh, girl! In fact, one of the most amazing things about this trip, and the island in particular, was the food. We ate like kings, and the food seriously blew me away. For the most part, I easily found vegan options, and some of the meals that I had are those that I plan to obsessively try to copy myself at home. I included some annotations, as you saw before with island pie, with some of my favorites, one of which we love so much that we ate at twice. Orcas is a really small community, and it was clear that most people knew almost, if not all, the other residents. We ended up connecting with one awesome local named Pat, who took us out on this boat over to a quieter island, which I'm very sorry to say, I don't even remember the name. It was sunset though, and it was lovely, and everyone we met made for great company. Plus, it was Jenny's first time on a boat, which was hilarious and so fun.
Look at the harbor from here.
Riding bikes on the island was also relatively simple. It was kind of up or down, not a ton of flat, but still relatively easy grade, and it just meant that it made for a pretty good workout, which we loved. There are certainly cars on the island, but nothing like what we're used to out in Portland proper, if that's where you're coming from. So definitely pretty easy to maneuver. While we decided to drive up here, this is Mount Constitution, and you can, if you are a crazy person, bike up this, but it is pretty steep. It's no joke. But wow, the views are incredible, and it's definitely something that you should include on your list if you too make a trip out to Orcas. Now, Eastsound is the real downtown area of Orcas Island. It has a ton of great restaurants, bars, little local shops. Definitely worth checking out if you aren't already staying there for your lodging.
Oh look, no numbers.
Vacations never last as long as you would like them to, and sadly, we did eventually have to go home. The one thing I wanted to mention here is to make sure that on your return trip, if you do come out to Orcas, that you book your ferry in advance if you are coming back on a Sunday. These ones fill up really quickly, and we luckily got on one of the first ones over there, so it wasn't too much trouble, but I've heard it definitely gets pretty crowded and can be pretty tough. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do me the huge favor, if you've been to Orcas and you've got a favorite spot that I haven't mentioned here, let me know in the comments below so that I can include that in the description box as well for recommendations for others who haven't. And if you haven't been to Orcas but you've got some other favorite weekend trips from Portland, please let me know about that as well, because I'd love to make more and more of these videos, and I'm always looking for little getaways. Of course, if you liked this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. And until next time, remember to dig where you live.